I'll still laugh.
I won't. Well, welcome into the roundtable here at the Roundtable Talk, part of the Reality Realm Network. My name is Kevin Oliver.
And my name is Brett Parnell.
And my name is Bruce Heller, and I would just like to say that a Chipotle a day keeps the grocery bill away.
And
Bruce,
we're
that
still
would be
going to tell
really
you that's not
expensive.
true.
Well, we got a better reaction last time, but someone didn't know we were recording. So I'm not going to name names.
That would be me.
I actually wasn't going to say it this time, but he said it himself. So I was just going to let everyone think it was Kevin.
I actually thought it was Bruce that didn't know we were recording.
I was just going to let the internet think it was Kevin and make their natural assumptions and not correct them.
Why would their natural assumption be that it was me?
I don't know. Why wouldn't it?
Because there's 3 of us on here?
Yeah, so there's a 1/3 chance they'd assume it was you.
Yeah, that's not anything more than... I mean, that's a 67% chance it's not.
Well...
He's got nothing.
That's the entirety of my response as well.
Anyway, we are back talking about episode 6 of the Traitors 4, and this one should be a bit more orderly of a discussion because we thankfully finally only have to talk about one episode.
What? Yeah. Thankfully, I like having 3 episodes at once.
I would rather the season go for another month, but that's just me.
Okay, but before we dive into the episode itself, Brett, I have a bit of a philosophical Traitors question for you.
Oh God,
Kevin, you're making a face. We texted about this.
I know, but you called it a philosophical question, and that's why I gave you
game philosophy. If you're a faithful, would you rather be loud and part of the conversation, but get voted out, or be quiet and then win, and not be
quiet and win?
Win. What'd you say?
Anything that involves winning.
Bruce. He agrees with you. We all knew that was going to happen anyway.
Yeah, but you said this would be a fun discussion to have on air.
Yeah, I agree. I think that I would
Kevin would rather lose, but feel like he's contributing.
I don't win enough money to take cruises for 6 months by being loud on a reality TV show.
But
I just would get remembered as being Michael Rappaport 2.0.
I'm not even talking to the
terrible faithful for the Tiffany thing, by the way.
I'm not even talking about Michael Rappaport. I'm talking about not being like Lord Ivar quiet.
I would still rather win.
I do not want to be Lord Ivar and not contribute a single damn thing to the whole season and get the money.
You don't want to be in the line of succession to the British throne?
137 places? No, I don't.
330 something places.
Lord Ivar won deposited into my bank account.
Well, yeah,
that's the whole reason for me being there.
But that's just not a fun game. It's not a game that I feel yeah, I want to win, but yeah, I also want to play the game.
This all stemmed from me rewatching Tiffany Go Home and calling Colton a terrible faithful for it, by the way, which I stand by. But I get Kevin's argument. It's more fun to be a part of something.
Yeah. Here's what I'm saying.
Or get thousands of dollars, either or, I'm picking the money.
Yeah.
Here's also what I'm saying. This is what our 2 options can be. Either you have Kevin who wants to talk and try to contribute and gets it wrong and is still wrong. Or we can have Bruce, who doesn't want to contribute at all and just ride the coattails. That's not going to guarantee you a win, by the way. We've seen a lot of people go home at 5 and 6, get murdered in the middle of the night because they're not contributing anything.
Now, that I'll agree with Kevin on because the pretext to the discussion I had stated that you would win.
Yes.
Now, if you're saying, would you play a game that you say nothing and hope to win, or a game that you contribute and actively play to win, then I would switch my argument in this discussion.
Yeah, thank you.
Ideally, I contribute and win, but if it's either or, I'm picking the money.
But that was not the original topic. That's where you brought it.
Yeah.
It started with you saying Colton is a bad faithful because he pushed Tiffany's name.
I did say I would go for him next if I were there, and I stand by that. He would be my next target.
And that's fine. But that would require you to have a target, and you would be wrong too.
Fair enough.
And then are they going after you next because you were wrong?
I don't know. Thinking ahead is not my strong suit, to be honest.
You just started this argument with what you would do the next time. That's thinking ahead.
Yeah, but thinking beyond the next move is not my strong suit.
I would rather have somebody who is trying to play the game than have somebody who's just going to sit there and probably get murdered in the middle of the night, which is the game that you're speaking of if you want one or the other, Bruce.
Fair enough.
Majority of the time,
discussion to have on air, though. You were right.
Yeah, exactly. That's all I wanted.
It doesn't happen very often, but you were right, Kevin.
Hey, I'm pretty sure on the first episode of this season, you told me that you liked my idea. Now you're telling me I'm right. I don't know what's going on with you.
But yeah, I remember saying that.
It was about how I thought that the secret traitor and the regular traitor role should be flipped. And that the regular traitor should build the short list and the secret traitor should kill it.
Just to keep your head from getting too big, can you remind us of who your winner pick was?
From what?
For this season that we're on right now?
It wasn't who Brett said it was in my...
It was Monet, wasn't it?
It was not Monet.
Oh.
Yeah, you guys are way off. No, I said that if it's a traitor win, Rob's going to win. If it's a faithful win, I don't feel as strongly about this anymore, but after the first 3 episodes, my faithful win was Colton Underwood.
Yeah, that's not happening. He's still alive. It could happen, but it's not going to.
Yeah, it could happen.
We didn't think Lord Ivar was going to win either. So.
Yeah,
or Dolores. For different reasons, but we still didn't think they'd win.
I didn't think Suli was ever going to win a reality show, and I haven't even watched it.
Exactly. So anything can happen.
Yeah. Colton's not doing himself any favors, though.
He's not, but if he can get enough people on this Lisa bandwagon, everybody's gonna forget all the shit when he finally gets something right.
That's right.
Yeah.
So if he can,
seeing that they didn't get a traitor this week, there's a very good chance that he succeeds in that.
Yeah.
I did. And I had this as a note at the end, but since you mentioned him with the Lisa thing, I think Colton might be the traitor's new version of what Ron was, that we don't want to kill him because he's going to get banished, because he stood there in front of everyone and said, kill me if you want to, or else I'm taking all the shields.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he secured himself not getting murdered. He's the new Ron.
Yeah. Well, I do want to make a mention of Ron real quick before we get started. Have everybody seen what Ron's put out this week?
No.
I saw a little bit of it.
Yeah, so after the season, Ron has come out and Bruce, this is kind of like deja vu for us from looking back to Amazing Race 37 and now Traitors 4, as 2 shows that we've covered have had a contestant who, because of their experience on reality TV, has since been diagnosed with autism.
Oh no, that's
sad. Problem?
What?
Are you and I the issue here?
Maybe
on our shows.
Maybe. But yeah, Ron Funches has come out as he now has been diagnosed with autism.
Oh no.
And kudos to him for coming out with it and for being graceful in the process.
Yeah.
Of all of that. Bruce, by the way, Ron Funches is doing a Faithful Something is the name of his comedy tour. He's going to be in St. Louis in April.
Nice. Oh wow. What I also saw from him this week is that we got a lot of scenes of like one-sided of him not being super nice to Lisa, and apparently that went both ways a lot, and they only showed it when he was doing it. So
that's what happens on reality TV, unfortunately.
Yeah, I just want to put that out there because apparently she was being awful to him as well, and they just decided not to show it. So
Sure.
that's annoying.
Yeah. He kind of got the bad rap of it all, but I think he's taking it in stride now. So
Yeah.
we're with you, Ron. Okay. Let's get into the episode,
Let's
shall
get
we?
into it.
First thing I got is I need wine for breakfast. Brett, I think you and Tara Lipinski must live in the same world.
Yeah, I think so.
We all live in the same world. It's called Earth.
Shut up.
I had to laugh at that, and then I had to think about how many times either on a cruise or on a Mexican beach have I had wine for breakfast, which is not many, but it's not zero either.
Fair enough. And then I liked Lisa's response was, or champagne or vodka.
No salmon this week, I guess.
One thing that Leah has told me about Lisa is do not cross her about over drinking. So that was interesting that she upgraded it to a 40% vodka.
That tracks.
Apparently, all of her drama on The Housewives surrounds around people telling her that she's too drunk.
Yeah, that sounds like that might be a problem.
Yeah.
I would be afraid to tell her that if I knew her in person, but that sounds like she might have a problem.
Hey, I dare you, DM her. Let her know that she has a drinking problem.
I'm scared to do that. I don't want to turn up missing.
Hey, then me and Brett could start our world of true crime podcasting if you go missing.
Yes, you're welcome. I'll just
capitalize on your tragic loss.
I don't need to actually go missing. We can just stage me going missing.
Yeah, we could be the next Only Murders in the Building.
But I just admitted that me going missing would be staged and fake. So we have to come up with a different crime now.
That's all right. I volunteer. Let me think. We'll get Kyle to go missing.
Okay.
Anyway, just another part of the Reality Realm Network.
Mom, you're being broadcast on YouTube singing a tune.
Oh, is she? I couldn't hear her.
I couldn't hear her.
Oh, my mute didn't work. No, we won that.
This is going so well.
Brett, you thought you were muted saying that?
I pressed the mute button right on my headset.
Press the mute button on Zoom next time. That might be.
Well, usually they're interconnected.
Not today. Anyway, we find out that everybody is still alive. There was no murder last night. A question that I had that became clear once Alan came in and told us that there was no murder, nobody had taken a shield, was if they would know whether, if the faithful would know whether there was a murder and the traitors just hit a shield, or if there was no shields taken. But then Alan answered that when he came in and told us that there was no murder.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah. And we get a clue that this challenge is going to be crypt related. Crypt was his clue.
Hold on, Brett just tried to say something, but he's muted.
He's actually muted now. Brett, you're actually muted now. It was a delayed mute.
No, I did it this time.
Now am I here?
Yeah, as soon as you said your mute button didn't work, I hit the mute button on your Zoom.
Oh man, Bruce, you're a savage.
Ever since we joked about Kevin getting banished and I didn't boot him from the Zoom call, I just don't hesitate with Zoom shenanigans anymore.
That's fair.
Kevin, maybe we should start saving the recording on ourselves and making a new Zoom account.
Me being the Zoom host is probably a bad idea, but I'm here for it.
Yeah, it's really kind of scary.
But
No.
What, Bruce?
What was I saying?
I don't know because you were muted.
I was saying maybe that's why we've done so many multiple episode weeks, is that we have a week or an episode where no one would get murdered otherwise. And it therefore extends the show.
I don't know. I don't know how that impacts there.
Who knows?
Yeah, not me.
Yeah.
Anyway, Ron, we get some stuff from Ron in between breakfast and mission time where he thinks that he's going home tonight.
Yeah. We see him and Rob, sound like kind of bonding over chess a little bit too.
Yeah, because Rob Roush just loves chess. Who knew?
Apparently.
And we see
I sure didn't expect a world where Love Island and chess come as intersecting interests with someone.
Yeah, me either. Nino said that on the pod that Rob was like always playing chess. So, yeah. And then the other thing that happened before the mission was that Colton is really on the Lisa train. He started this at the end of last episode, and he's still on it. And he's right.
He's right.
He's right. Yeah. But we'll see what happens. Anyway, it's time for us to go back to our favorite creepy cabin.
It is.
No dolls this time, though.
Oh, there was dolls.
There was dolls, just not lots of them.
There was enough of them.
We did get hands popping up out of graves, which was really cool.
Yes. Also, I have seen this mission as well.
Spoilers for all the missions.
Not all of them. There was one. Actually, there was one that I said I hadn't seen yet last time, and then I saw it afterwards. So I saw the U.S. version of it before. I can't remember which mission that was, but it was the fountain one last week.
Oh, yeah. I just love the like hands popping up out of the grave to hand them the bag.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, so in this mission, they're going to be in the creepy cabin, and each round, per se, there is a cryptic clue that is given through different means. One time it was from a Ouija board. One time there was blood coming out of the walls. All these really...
a typewriter typing itself?
Yes. All these horror-related things. And it's going to be the clue to a name. And then once you figure out what that name is, two people will exit the creepy cabin and go to the graveyard outside of the creepy cabin and find the name of who they believe the clue to be for. And if they're correct and they say that person's name and their year of death within 30 seconds of leaving the cabin, this hand that Bruce really likes will come out of the ground with $3,000 in money.
And if they're incorrect, it'll still come out and then disappear the second before you touch it.
Correct.
It's so creepy looking, though. Just a zombie-looking hand coming up out of the grave.
But of course, it comes out of the correct answer, and then you're not at the correct one if you're wrong.
Yeah, and then in the first case, they try to run to it, and it retreats back into the ground the second they get there.
Yes. There's also a grave that has 2 shields. But our friends in the castle in the creepy cabin decide that if anybody takes a shield, they're getting automatically banished tonight.
That was an interesting strategy from Natalie, though, to take it to another level.
Yeah, and nobody seemed to have a problem with it except Yam Yam.
Yeah.
So yeah, the first name comes out. They told the 2 people the wrong name. They told Tara and Candace that it was Louise Clark, not Louise Black. And so Tara and Candace went to Louise Clark.
And they had both a Louise Clark and a Louise Black, so they clearly indicated for people to, like, go between the two.
To be fair, they were very loud, like, even when they were just right outside the cabin door, shouting "Black, Black," where they probably could have heard it. So,
I think
yeah, but it's also a cabin. Sound doesn't penetrate out the door.
And I think those girls were probably a little preoccupied with getting their hind end out of there because they were scared as shit.
Yeah, if they had been more focused on listening, they would have gotten the bag of money.
I think they were preoccupied with going back to the castle because there's a bar there.
Well,
I would also argue that if everybody wouldn't have yelled, "It's Louise Clark, go, go, go!"
Yeah.
Too soon.
Yeah, that's not good either. I'm just saying it's a little bit on them too. It's not all on the other people. The other people tried to give them the correct answer. They just left too quickly.
Because they told them to go.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't.
Once you walk out of the door and start running, you're never gonna get that.
Yeah, no.
They yelled it so loudly. I don't believe that they couldn't hear it. They just weren't listening for it.
Why would they need to? If they're told it's Louise Clark, go, why would you be listening to hear anything else? You would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
Maybe, and I still would. I would have. If they had
said, you would have been wrong.
It said, "Hey, we were yelling the right answer." I would have said, "Sorry, I'll listen better." I own it when I screw up.
But they didn't screw up. The people in the cabin screwed up.
Yeah.
They said it like one time. They were just
no, they didn't.
Were too focused being scared and wanted to get out, and not focused on doing the mission well.
They said it more than once for sure.
They said the correct one way more times.
Yeah, after they were gone. I don't know what you want.
I'm not gonna blame the people. I'm gonna put some of the blame on those two. They're not completely innocent.
Once the door opens, they have 30 seconds.
Which was plenty of time.
Run out to the graveyard.
Yeah,
you're not waiting around to make sure that
you're not going to convince me these two didn't mess up at least a little bit.
Okay, well, we are going to just agree to disagree on that.
I argue in favor of accountability. Kevin argues in favor of, hey, blame the other people.
That is not what's happening.
That's the story I'm going with.
Of course it is. Brett's trying to prove a point here.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention. You weren't making me argue with you.
No, it's right now.
30. That's 30 the amount of time you have to get out of the cabin and run into the graveyard. Not much time at all.
Nope. Nobody struggled with time. 30
They would have struggled with time if they didn't run out the door and go to the graveyard like the instructions said.
I agree. Okay. Anyway,
Luce is outvoted 2-1.
Yes, it was the fault of the people in the cabin, but we're gonna move on.
I didn't say that there was no fault of the people in the cabin. I said fault goes both ways,
and we disagree.
You're allowed to be wrong,
and so are you. Okay. Anyway, second clue was one that I actually knew because it was the exact same second clue. That's the only name that was the same between UK and US, the Jackstone one. And Yam Yam and Mora go for it. And Yam Yam still wants to go for this shield. But Mora ain't having it.
Yeah.
And they get it right, Jackstone. Then Lisa and Mark.
I wonder if Yam Yam did go for the shield, if they would have said Yam Yam has a shield or just someone took a shield.
I think that Mora would have told on him.
That's fair.
Yeah. He was way too aggressive about wanting that shield.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Alan would have offered that, but I think Mora would have told on him.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Are we going for shields?
No. I mean, if majority goes along with Natalie, no. But at the same time, I would never propose or agree to myself something like what was set at the table before they started. Right. Shields are part of the game, and frankly, I just think that's a little ridiculous.
Well, if it's one, was this? I forget. Was this one of those where if nobody grabs it, we're not up for murder?
No.
Because if that would have been the case, yeah, I'm totally with Natalie.
Yeah, for sure.
It, you're gone.
But yeah, it's just
not the case.
It was just a normal one.
I would probably agree to it out of fear that not agreeing to it makes me look shady. But
exactly.
Either way,
I that's kind of what I would say. Yeah.
I don't care enough to like publicly push back against it, but there's no way I'm.
But then again, it's a little different strategically in, say, the traitors versus, say, an advantage in Survivor, because the point is to catch the traitors. Wanting a shield doesn't necessarily make you more or less of a traitor, because that's a totally different aspect of the game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I did think that dynamic last week was interesting, though, that if anybody grabbed a shield, everybody else was up for murder, but if no one grabbed it, that was fun.
I actually don't like when that happens.
And the one that cracked me up was, I just want to see what it looks like. I forget who said that.
Yeah.
Like, you are playing with fire when you do that. But
yeah. Okay, so the reason I don't like that whole process is, Bruce, kind of like how you didn't love the secret traitor because you thought it was taking power away from the traitors.
Yeah.
I don't love the idea of no murder because it's taking power away from the traitors.
Mm-hmm.
I also just don't really like shields, so the less of them in the game, I'm happy with. The more people that...
Really?
I don't know. I just don't like when, hey, we want to murder someone, but we can't. They have a shield.
But what about... Sorry, nobody has shields.
Got rid of shields, honestly.
But, like, what about this mechanic from last week where if none of us have shields, technically we all have shields. There is no murder.
It takes power away from the shield, so I'm okay with it. But
it also takes power away from the traitors. So,
it's just something different. I liked it one time. I wouldn't like it every week, but as a one-time thing, it was just kind of fun and different.
Did we?
I think overall, I feel kind of the same way about shields as I do with hidden immunity idols, and that's that they're an important part of the game, but sometimes production throws in too many of them.
Yeah. Like, one here is fine. When we have, like, 3 available every episode, I'm out.
Or, like, 8 at the beginning of the season.
Right. Yeah. I think that 3's okay even when you have 15 people.
Oh,
but,
of course.
Look at how many people how many shields were available in that challenge with the fountain last week.
Yeah.
There was one shield at 6 of the statues. And then between the last 2, there was 8 available. So that's 14 potential shields.
Exactly.
That could have been accessed.
I'm just kind of tired of shields lately. There's been so many missions, like last season too, where like multiple people get them. And like, I just want as many people to be available to get killed as possible. Like, I don't like that, 5 people can't be killed. Like,
which is kind of like what I'm saying of shields would be better if every mission had one of them.
I don't even think we need them in every mission.
I don't think that it's that big of an issue when you're talking about like 3. Like if you're taking away like
3 or less at every mission is fine, but
yeah.
I'm not going to complain if there's a mission with 0 available also.
Right.
Like season 1, did we have shields? I don't remember.
I don't think so.
I'm okay with that. They're not going to go back to it. Shields are here to stay, but I'd be okay if they did.
Right.
I'm okay if they don't, too. I don't know. It's been a lot lately.
Fair enough.
Like you said, there was a lot available with that fountain one. That was.
But I think that was part of the mechanic of, hey, there is so many here. If you don't take one, here's your reward.
What if everybody takes one?
Then nobody gets murdered anyway.
Then you defeat the twist because you took shields and still don't get murdered.
Yeah, it's the same result pretty much, except there might have been.
You're saying that the twist takes power away from the traitors. If they did it regularly, I would hate it. But as a one-time thing, like I don't know, it's fun. It's different.
That's fair.
The
That's fair.
secret traitor was gonna be like an every episode thing till they went home. That's why.
No, it wasn't.
Well, until they found out who it was, but I didn't know that's how it worked when I said I hated it. You told me that's how it worked, but when they were first explaining the short list, I'm like, oh, this is every episode. I hate this.
Right. Yeah, if Donna would have made it through one more round, there would have just been a 4 traitor turret.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there was last season.
Yeah. Still not a fan of it, but not as much now that once you told me how the secret traitor worked, I'm like, okay, this isn't terrible. I just would prefer it not be a thing.
I would prefer to see it work out how I said that.
That would be better. I just don't think it's needed. It doesn't really add much.
It is I think that it made for some cool moments. I think it can be really cool. I think there's a lot of compelling things that can happen with it. Like, if it would have lasted and we watched the traitors become traitor hunters for the secret traitor so that they can have their power back.
Something like that. I think part of me being just meh about the secret traitor is the result we got is possibly the most underwhelming result that possibly could have come with that twist.
They picked the worst person in the castle to be the secret traitor. Yeah. I think Donna Kelsey could have been a good regular traitor. Worst person to be the secret traitor.
Rob C would have been a great secret traitor.
Rob C would have been a great secret traitor.
That's what I was rooting for more than anything because I wanted him in the turret.
Honestly, any of the gamers could have been a really good secret traitor.
Agreed.
But yeah, this mission that we're on the actual episode, because we're talking a lot about various things throughout the season. This was a fun mission.
Yeah,
this was a fun mission. Kevin, you got something to say?
Yeah, I just realized I was in the middle of the mission when we went on a tangent. So I was gonna just top back in, unless you had something.
Yeah, go ahead. No, please.
Okay. So
because what I have one to add is at the end of the mission.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the next two to go out were Lisa and Mark, and they got Dorothy Darkin. They got their money, and then some name that I can't read very well that Dorinda and Johnny got. I just said Jorinda. Dorinda and Johnny they got their money as well. Dale Cross was Colton and Kristen. And then Valentine's Spring was Natalie and Steven for a total of $15,000 of the $18,000 that they could have won from here. Ron, Rob, and Eric were stayed behind and found out that way that no shields were taken.
Yeah.
What were you wanting to say, Brett?
I guess it wouldn't have mattered because there was people that came after, but my thought was, at least at first, and I think this could be interesting maybe for a future mission at some point in the franchise, even if it's not this season, is what if they had an equal number of players and you notice that they keep going back to the castle and not back to the mission? I was like, the last team to go could take a shield and no one would know.
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe that'll happen at some point in the show, but it crossed my mind.
Yeah, if there wasn't those people left behind, that would be.
I don't know why there was not enough people to actually more people than they needed to take part in the mission. It seemed kind of pointless.
I think it was probably because they only wanted to have a certain amount of max money go in the pot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's my.
But guess. I mean, make it $2,000 a turn.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Then that's less money than they wanted to go in the pot. And yeah, it's
and allowing 3 more people to play would bankrupt Peacock.
Just imagine if they did what Canada did and hey, every time you vote out a traitor, you get more money in the pot.
Yeah.
Then we'd really not know what the pot was going to be at the end.
Then Michael Rappaport would still be in this game.
Yeah. So good thing that they didn't do that.
Yeah.
Rob Sesternino was talking about this plan that he was going to have to use Michael Rappaport as a weapon against the traitors.
Oh, geez.
And it was called Machine Gun Mike. And what he was going to do was he was going to feed Mike with different theories that he had, like actual theories. And Michael would just be Michael and like go hard at people who Rob actually thought were traitors during their free time to get like to kind of use it as a litmus test to see what they can get thrown out there and
Theories
stuff.
like this and him being so smart are why they were afraid to let him last very long in the castle.
Right, yeah.
Because they all knew he was that smart. And unfortunately, he was never going to last, even to this point in the season, unless he was the secret traitor. But
right.
that's brilliant, though.
Yeah,
yeah, it would have been. I would have loved to see that play out. All right, so we're on our way back to the castle. Johnny is sus on Colton.
Fair.
Yeah.
Colton had a rough week last week as far as like perception wise.
Yeah. Yeah, he will. I'm trying. Yeah, because he had the Tiffany thing, and then we had our Michael thingy mabobber. So yeah.
To be fair on the Tiffany thing, Colton was one of two people. He started it, but he wasn't the one that said, "Hey, I have a musical ear. I heard your laugh."
Right. If Eric Nom had not spoken up, I'm not sure that Tiffany is gone right now.
Yeah.
Colton was definitely leading that charge, but Eric helped a lot.
Right, and there's a lot of people that said Eric is what convinced me.
Well, I forget who it was. Someone spoke up at this roundtable and said, like, we're all going after Ron because of the Portia thing. Colton and Eric were a lot more egregiously wrong. Why are we not voting for them?
Yeah,
and I like to my TV out loud. I'm like, exactly.
Really, Ron brought that thought up, and then Kristen said, "Yeah, if we're gonna blame Ron for Portia, I'm gonna blame you for Tiffany."
Yeah, I don't think Colton's around much longer. I think he's getting banished soon.
We'll see. I don't know. Like I said, if he hits the Lisa thing,
Yeah.
if he can survive long enough to get Lisa out, I think that he's got a lot more longevity in this game.
I think Eric is got himself in hot water too, but he's quieter than Colton is. I could see him just kind of fading into the background again. Colton,
I also don't want to.
It is very loud.
I don't want to read into this too much, but Colton's edit is way too good for somebody that's going to go home so soon.
I hope not, but
because reality news has been reposting confessional updates week after week.
Yeah.
And comparative to other faithfuls, Colton's confessional, these percentages are based on his mute didn't work again.
I don't think he anyway.
Okay, so the percentages. Did you try to mute again, Brett?
No, my mom was once again singing a tune right outside the door, so I had to go tell her.
That, though.
But we heard you talk to her.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
We couldn't hear her.
Yeah.
Well, it's distracting.
Oh, well. Anyway, the percentages are based on like if you're a faithful or if you're a traitor and how much a regular faithful gets, like the average faithful gets in confessionals based on what you're getting. Colton Underwood's percentage is well over 100%. He's at least doubled. It's like 132% of what a average faithful would get edit-wise. Confessional count. Colton Underwood is 132% over that. I don't think they're going to give somebody who doesn't make at least like episode 10 or 9, at the very least, 132% increase of the edit.
That's a really good point.
It doesn't look good for him, though.
Yes, I agree.
Like
that's why I said I hate to look into the logistical sides of the editing and stuff, but I just don't see it from that perspective.
The edit and the confessional count and like the meta of it all, you go into that way more than me. I look at what I'm seeing on the screen and my takes come from that.
Yeah.
And like Kristen, like I kind of like if I were there, Kristen words would ring true. Like, we're crucifying Ron for being wrong about something, and Colton was a lot more sure and was wrong. And
well, I think they were both really sure.
Eric's going to be quiet and fade into the background again, I think, because we just don't see much of him.
I think he could get
Colton's
murdered.
always saying something.
I think Eric's going to end up murdered eventually because he's always in talk or in danger.
Yeah, but his musical ear, like, that did Tiffany in too. Like,
No, for sure.
I'm at Colton because I think he had a rough week last week, and I just kind of don't enjoy watching him. But Eric was just as wrong. He just wasn't as loud about it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay, we also have, back in the castle after this mission, we have Rob Roush trying to get the sus off of Ron Funches.
Yeah,
and
like we said last week, unless it's a fellow traitor, why are you working this hard to defend someone? I love Ron, but I just don't get it here.
Because Rob, his heart grew 3 sizes that day, I think. And he realized that he really likes Ron Funches. But Lisa and Candace are pissed because their whole plan going in was to go for Ron. And here is Rob trying to get it off of Ron.
Yeah, Candace throws something at Rob in the kitchen after a round table.
Yeah, well, after a round table, that's kind of understandable.
I get Rob's reasoning with that. We'll get there when we get there.
Yeah. I'm with you. But I also understand why she would have thrown something. Also, oh my goodness, Mark Ballas has opinions. I didn't know he knew how to speak.
I forgot he was on the show for a while.
Yeah, he gave us confessionals, and he spoke at the round table tonight.
Yeah.
Whoa. This is like we had an episode that was titled in season 3, Sam Can Speak. That's how I feel right now.
I forgot about Sam.
Mark Ballas is having his Sam Asghari moment.
See, you talk about Lord Ivar being quiet. We never forgot he existed. I forgot Sam existed until you said that just now.
Right. And Sam was a better player than Ivar, though. That got him killed.
They were equally, like, quiet in the edit, though.
Yes. Until the end. Until Sam's last 2 episodes that he was on there when he started actually playing the game.
Yeah.
And that's why he got murdered. Okay. We got to talk about Colton wanting to hold Lisa hostage, right?
This is so stupid.
Yeah.
He says, I will protect you at the round table if you protect me in the turret.
I mean, smart. He figured it out, unlike most people in this show.
Well, yeah, and like
Loki,
some of
I don't hate
her fellow housewives were like, yeah, I know her. It doesn't normally act this nice, and like the reasoning makes sense. But what does he think is going to happen when he says this to her? Because there's no way he thinks she's just going to admit it right there.
No, but he's gonna try to see her reaction so he can get evidence for the roundtable.
And worst case scenario, right? Not worst case scenario. Worst case scenario. Well, there isn't a worst case scenario for the faithfuls in this situation because either Colton says this and Lisa says we got to kill him. We got to kill him. Or Colton says this and then he has ammo, which he has ammo. Anyway, think about this though. What if Colton hits on Lisa here and Lisa is not as good of a traitor as anybody thinks she is? What if Lisa caves in? What if the idea becomes, okay, we're gonna pull this together. I'm gonna save you in the turret. You're gonna save me in the round table. And the first moment I get, I'm gonna recruit you.
And I will say this because I've been hard on Colton.
It's
I
true.
don't think he's playing very well. But one thing he did do well is this week is he told his Lisa theory to a bunch of people. So if he gets murdered, who's everyone going to look at? Everyone knows
he did what Monet couldn't do. Yes.
Like that was like he's not playing well, but that was a smart move.
Yeah.
It was.
Well, what do you think about that, Bruce?
Falls apart at roundtable a little bit. He goes at her at the last second, but
Yeah, well, I think he was gonna hold off one more week, I think, or one more roundtable until he realized that there was a decent chance people were gonna vote for him to go home over Ron.
I do like it was very like just because I have felt bad for Ron, watching everyone at Roundtable slowly realize in the moment, oh crap, it's not Ron. What do we do?
Yeah.
Because like a bunch of people realized it wasn't him while he was talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Bruce, what do you think about that? What do you think about if this would have worked out in Colton's favor and then Lisa goes, all right, yes, you're right. Let me recruit you into the turret.
I think it would have been it's one of these where like if it works, I'll compare it. No, it's not as disastrous. But the Seahawks passing the ball on the goal line. If it works, brilliant. Everyone's expecting you to hand the ball off. That might fail, though. If it fails, which it did, everyone crucifies Pete Carroll forever. Like it's one of those where if it's smart or dumb depends on the result.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think it's going to end up not being a good move.
It could be emergent gameplay.
Yeah.
Time will tell it. I guess time won't tell because the fact of the matter is now Lisa and Colton are like this because she wouldn't cave, and so I think the next roundtable
intercepted to keep my analogy going.
Yeah, the roundtable is going to be between them next week. I'm pretty sure.
Side note, passing was not as bad of a decision as people make it out to be. Just passing over the middle was bad. Throw a fade pass along the line of scrimmage and run it in, and it would have been fine.
At the 1 yard line, any kind of pass with how tight that is not a great idea.
Everyone, but like a handoff, everyone acts like a handoff was just so guaranteed to work. When everyone knows it's happening, he still could have gotten stopped.
But it's beast mode. He never gets stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
I'm okay with it. I was rooting for New England in that Super Bowl.
I'm sure you were.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Mr. Dynasty Boy. While we're on the topic of football,
I am never rooting for New England, so that will include tomorrow night.
For a second, that out of the three of us, I'm the only one whose team made it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Just going to put that out there real quick.
That's right.
Whoever would have thought that was going to happen. Not me.
I do, and this is, like, me trying to be not my, like, Denver's a divisional rival thing. Brett, I did feel bad for you and the people rooting for Buffalo. That interception should have been a catch.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing with that call? But, yeah, I hope Denver gets ran over this next weekend. And Drake May is awesome.
They will.
Well,
yes, I am now rooting for the Patriots to win the Super Bowl. I never thought I could say that I'd root for the Patriots in my life because I hated Tom Brady. I hated Bill Belichick. But by golly, Drake May and Mike Vrabel as a combination are so fun to watch.
The Patriots are likable now. I never thought
they are. I never thought that would happen in my life.
And the Jets are still the Jets, but you know.
I am cheering for Seattle to win the whole thing.
If Sam Darnold becomes the first 2018 draft class quarterback to win a Super Bowl, I don't know what I'll do.
I'm rooting for New England to win the whole thing, but I need Seattle to win this weekend. So hopefully that happens.
Fair enough.
I want the Rams to lose always, but I don't want them in the Super Bowl. So
fair enough. All
I
right,
like Stafford. I hate that Stafford plays for the Rams, but I like him as a person.
Okay. Yeah, understandable.
Yeah.
But
an NFL season of traitors where it's all just like old or retired football players.
That would be funny.
Like, give me Julian Edelman in the Traitors turret. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, but like, the only problem that people are going to have with that is that it would be a total cast of all men.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thought didn't occur to me. I'm stupid, remember?
Maybe just like all retired athletes.
No. What if it was half NFL players, half NFL cheerleaders?
I was going to say WNBA and just go in a complete different direction.
I was going to...
Past NFL cheerleaders gives me a reason to cast Morgan McLeod from Survivor on the Traitors, which would be hysterical. So
I was going to say half NFL players and the women can play who represent the U.S. and Canada in real football.
Shut up.
Why did I not know that the soccer reference?
There's also a former NFL cheerleader that was on the one season of Fox's The Snake this last season. That's probably not going to come back. That would be fun.
Speaking of one season shows, we need to bring back, what was that dumb show I liked called Gotta Get Out? We need to bring that back.
I haven't watched it yet, but I would like to.
It's dumb, but it's very entertaining and it's chaotic.
Well, it's got Susan from the Golden Bachelor on it. And that's all I care about.
You almost said Golden Girls, I feel like.
No, I just had to. I almost said Golden Bachelorette, but that wasn't true. It was the Golden Bachelor.
Golden Girls is a good show.
My elder Dean loves the Golden Girls. Anyway, it is roundtable time. We're not talking about the NFL or the Golden Girls right now.
None of them can be in the turret because they're all dead.
Yes. Ron Funches spends
It can be in the graveyard.
I don't know how to respond to that, but my instinct is to laugh, but I feel like I should.
Well, I know how to respond. Let's talk about the traitors.
Yeah.
Ron Funches spent the first half of Roundtable telling everybody how much he enjoyed playing the game with them, saying his goodbyes. And this is when, as Brett was saying, everybody realizes, oh shit, Ron's not a traitor.
No, I said that.
Who said that?
Oh, I thought you both kind of said it.
Well, we did.
But
it was obvious.
Yeah. And then Kristen follows it up by not just talking about Ron, but pointing towards Colton.
Yeah.
And then Colton points it at Lisa. And then all of a sudden Alan says, the time for talking is done. And it is vote time.
It is vote time.
It is.
And we have a messy vote all over the place.
6 to 5 to 4 vote.
Yeah.
That ends with Ron Funches going home. The 6 votes for Ron were from Stephen Coletti, Maura Higgins, Candace Dillard Bassett, Jim Arocho, Dorinda Medley, and Mark Ballas. 5 votes for Lisa from Ron Funches, Colton Underwood, Eric Nom, Natalie Anderson, and Rob Roush. And then 4 Colton votes. Tara Lipinski, Johnny Weir, Lisa Rinna, and Kristen Kish.
The third-party votes might be like the story of this season through 6 roundtables.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're getting people being banished with far less than 50% of the vote episode after episode.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 6 of 15.
I think the most interesting vote here was Rob's, though.
Yeah, and my note right afterwards is Rob's effed when he gets to the turret.
Yeah.
But then he didn't have to worry about it because they aren't going to the turret tonight.
No, they went to the kitchen and he was still kind of screwed, but I get his argument completely.
In our Cat with 9 Lives, Ron Funches is gone.
Sad.
And thankfully, that for Rob's perspective, it's a murder in plain sight because, like you said, they don't go to the turret before there'll be another roundtable when Lisa's probably going to go by Donna Kelsey style, surviving a vote barely and then getting like 90% of the vote.
Maybe. I'm not convinced that a lot of these Ron votes would have been Colton votes. Or not Ron votes. These Lisa votes would have been Colton votes for sure. But I'm not convinced that these Ron votes couldn't split. And I think we could have it really close. Because there's going to be 14 available votes. I wouldn't be surprised if we had a 7-7 split.
So let me ask this. If we are there in the castle, we don't see the edit, we don't know who is or isn't, and you heard these arguments at Roundtable, who are you voting for?
Not Ron.
Yeah.
It's Colton for me.
I think that the best case, like the best argument, would have to be the Lisa argument.
I would agree.
And I'm not saying that because of our earlier discussion about whether Colton was being a good or bad faithful. I'm saying that because their evidence for Colton rests at simply you were wrong.
Yeah.
Their evidence for Lisa is we literally know who you are, and you are not acting like yourself.
Yeah.
These people who've known her for years, they're like, that's not Lisa Rinna.
That's true. You might have convinced me.
So I mean that's where I would go anyway.
None of our choices were the one that goes home. And they send Ron home, even though a lot of them realize, oh, it's not him.
Yeah, I think it was more of the fact of if as long as Ron's in this game, this conversation is going to keep being had, and we're going to be running in circles. So there's a certain point where you just gotta cut bait and be able to at least go back to the drawing board a little bit.
That's true.
Yeah.
But Ron had a really good quote as he was leaving the castle here. He said, "The world's completely fake, and that's why it's hard to see what's real."
Yeah.
That's a lot better than saying you're the dopest faithful, honestly.
The dopest, best looking, funniest, faithful of faithfuls. Andy's commiserating. Or nope, who's commiserating? Not Michael. Colton is commiserating.
Colton was, and then they had to tell Michael what commiserating meant.
And he still didn't believe him. And I thought it was really funny. First confessional we get post finding out that Mr. Funchess is a faithful is Rob Roush saying, "This is about to be bad for Robby Bobby."
I remember seeing that and thinking Kevin's going to write this down as a quote.
Yes, and then it's even funnier because in the chat BCC for the traders, Puya says, "I can't wait to get on call with Rob so I can call him this." Rob Sesternino, call Rob Sesternino this.
That's amazing.
That's funny.
Hello, Robby Bobby. And then I got, don't expect me to be a housewife because I'm Lisa fucking Rinna. Well, Lisa fucking Rinna is a housewife, so
yeah. You're on a show called Real Housewives of whatever city you live in. Like that's, yeah.
And then another thing that we had happen was Colton tell the traders to take him out tonight because from now on he's going for every shield that he can.
Yeah.
Yes. And then Alan tells us tonight we're going to hold a banquet and the traders must murder in plain sight. And then we get this flashback from the night before where Alan presents them with an amulet that one of the traders has to wear, and the first person to touch the amulet will be murdered.
My thought here, and maybe I'm wrong, is this just doesn't look like something a guy would wear. I think one of the other two is going to have to do it, which takes the pressure off of Rob.
Yeah, and then we find out Lisa's wearing it.
Yeah, that was I immediately saw it. I'm like, oh, Rob's good. That's not like.
Yeah, especially like if Johnny Weir was in the turret, I could totally see that.
Yeah.
But Rob Roush, there's no way in a million years he'd ever wear something like that.
If I'm Rob, I am so relieved when Alan opens that and shows the jewelry. I'm like, oh, cool. I don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
But what I will say is their decision the last night to make Lisa wear it at the time was a good call. After that roundtable, probably the worst thing they could have done.
It's going to be good TV, though.
Yeah, nobody's going to want to get within 10 feet of that lady after that roundtable.
Speaking of Lisa, let's get into this a little bit, because after roundtable, before we see the amulet thing, we see the traders, we see Candace and Lisa drag Rob into the kitchen to fuss at him for his vote. And his argument was, everyone knows me and Ron were close. If I voted for him, that would have been suspicious. They don't want to hear it, and I think that's just because they're in denial. His reasoning makes total sense to me.
And not even just Ron. He said Ron and Colton. that he was good with both of them, and it would look suspicious. I agree. And
it gets a roll or whatever it is thrown at him, but they're just in denial. Like what he's saying makes total sense. They don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
But also, I don't think that's the reason he did it either. So, are they in total denial, or are they just reading through his BS answer?
I think they just don't want to listen. They want to be mad at him, so they're.
I mean, I think that it could be a little bit of both, honestly.
Yeah.
Because that's not why Rob did it. I think Rob thought that Lisa Rinna was probably going to go home.
I think that was a part of it. I mean,
we of course saw that he didn't want to. If it was for I feel like there's ways he could have got around it, especially piling on Ron.
Yeah.
But I don't think that was his main point in voting for Lisa Rinna.
Yeah. It's a smart argument to make, though.
Yeah. I mean,
that may not have been the biggest thing. That was absolutely a reason that went into it. Because if he had voted for either of the other two, people would have had questions.
Well, I don't know if he thought that, or it's just because he liked them both and didn't want to vote for them.
I think it was both.
Yeah.
Because if you know someone's so close with those two and he votes for one of them, you're going to have questions. That's going to be suspicious.
Sure.
That has to have crossed his mind.
Sure.
So, but he says that. It makes sense to me. Candace throws something at him. Fun little scene there.
I mean, I don't blame him either way. Like, I like that he voted for Lisa personally, but I also completely understand why those two are mad.
I get why they're mad. They just aren't listening to reason there. They just want to be mad at him because they're upset.
But also think about the fact of if one of those Ron votes would have been a Lisa vote instead, Lisa be going home right now.
Then he only has one of them that's mad at him that he has to deal with.
Right, but it was like while they're mad makes total sense and is justified.
It makes sense. It's just at a certain point, like listen to reason. Like you can't stay mad forever.
I mean, we saw him talk for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I don't think that certain point of listening to reason has to fall within the 5 minutes directly following the roundtable.
No, it doesn't, but I just at least hear the guy out.
I mean, if I was one vote away from going home, I'm not gonna want to hear him out at all. Yeah. I don't. That's my perspective. I would be absolutely livid.
Yeah.
That's
even if his argument was valid, I would still be so pissed that it doesn't matter at that point.
Which we saw with her and Colton when everyone else comes into the kitchen a minute later.
Yeah.
When he says, if there's a traitor in the room, kill me tonight or I'm taking all the shields the rest of the season.
Yep.
Which is when I wrote down he's going to be the new Ron. He's their meat shield because he's going to get himself banished.
Right.
Because if I'm a faithful and I hear someone say, I'm going after all the shields, like, yeah, you need to be gone. At least to me.
That's fair.
Fair enough. Yeah. With this banquet, they had a banquet in UK, but it did not play out like this. It wasn't a murder in plain sight. It was weird. At the banquet, a dagger was given away that is a double vote, like the dagger that was in Canada. And that's what happened at the banquet in UK.
What were we passing around in Canada? I forget now.
Passing around? What do you mean?
Like with the vote where it was the murder in plain sight, but like they were passing things around and whoever ended up with it died, I think. Or there was one that was bad. Coins. I think it was coins.
It was a shield.
You didn't like
it was
the
a
way
shield.
It worked.
It was a shield.
That's what it was. There was a cursed shield, and
It was behind the painting on the wall in the hallway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember you didn't like some mechanic of how that worked, but
I'll have to think on that. I'm not really sure what I didn't like about it.
I think you didn't like that there was so many being passed around instead of just one murder in plain sight thing, that it took pressure off of the murderer, if I remember right.
Maybe.
There was something I liked and you didn't.
That happens a lot.
Yeah, you're wrong a lot.
No. Anyway, I want to know, who do you guys think is going to be murdered in plain sight?
The question is Lisa gonna make this decision with her heart or with her head? If she's making it with her heart, she's gonna get Colton to touch the thing. But
That's
would be
smart.
a dumb decision. But she's still like, this is the same night, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see her just seeing red and still being angry from how everything went in the kitchen and roundtable. But she just makes an emotional decision. I don't think she will, but I could see it. If she makes a decision with her mind, I don't know. Maybe, what's his name? Eric with the musical ear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, Brett?
Kristen.
Okay, interesting.
That's my guess.
So,
just someone who's been kind of up for murder but never got murdered yet, and no one would really draw heat to any of the traitors in that case.
Mm-hmm.
I could see her and Kristen kind of being together, though, because Kristen was the one that spoke up against Colton last time, and now they have a common enemy.
And that makes it very easy to not get any heat for it.
Ooh, interesting.
So here's my thought. Going into this, after that roundtable that just happened, like I said, I don't think anybody's going to want to get... I think everybody's going to be suspicious of something happening. And I don't think that anybody's going to want to be anywhere near Colton or Lisa right now at this point.
Yeah.
That being said, I think that it's not going to get to be a targeted attack. I think it's going to be time's running out. I think that it's going to be somebody touches it because they're admiring it. They're trying to be nice.
Yeah.
And I think that has Johnny Weir written all over it.
I can see that.
I also think there's a chance she's not able to pull it off and that we don't get anyone to touch it.
That's possible.
Yeah.
Because who's going to want to be in close proximity to her when she's seeing red and angry at the world?
I can
maybe, like you said, maybe like Brett said, maybe a Kristen, maybe a Johnny, maybe a Tara, these people who voted with her.
This is where, though, and with Tevin has called me CBS Productions' worst nightmare before. But I just had an idea about this banquet where if I'm production, this is assigned seating, and Colton and Lisa, your seats are next to each other.
Yeah.
So you're not CBS Productions' worst nightmare. You're reality TV's production's worst nightmare.
I feel like that's a good idea for production if you want like interesting TV to set them next to each other.
Yeah, it could also result in Lisa giving Colton a shiner and some kind of lawsuit going into play right here.
Oh, they're not. They signed enough waivers. None of them are able to sue Peacock for anything. And
all I know is that this banquet is
where she's gone, so she's not going to do that.
All I know is there might be less tension at this banquet than at the challenge banquet, and that's saying something.
If that's the challenge, they're like on a whole other level of drama.
There's always tension in the challenge.
They somehow decided for those people who haven't watched it, they somehow decided to do a banquet on the challenge about 3 hours after the whole cast got caught cheating in a challenge. And bad idea.
Yeah. Was that this past season?
Yeah. When everybody took their food and threw it over the cliff?
Yeah, not the whole cast. There was a few people that refused to cheat.
Well, definitely not your favorite Survivor winner.
Yeah, that's why I didn't move that direction. But like CT, I think didn't CT didn't do
There was like 3 people that actually tried, ate it.
But shout out to them. Shout out to those 3 people.
Yeah. I do want to say though, Alan Cumming has been doing a lot of interviews with like the Kelly Clarkson show. This keeps coming up on my feed, this interview with him with Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah.
And he keeps saying episode 7 at the banquet is the best episode of Traitors he's ever been a part of.
Wow.
Interesting.
And he says it's absolute carnage will take place.
So we will be back next week to talk about the best episode of The Traitors.
Yes. In my words, it's gonna be a real humdinger. That's my words, not his. I don't think he knows the word humdinger.
He knows a lot more words than we do.
Yeah, but I don't think humdinger is one of them.
I don't know if that's in the dictionary or not.
It might be.
I don't know.
He might know it.
I don't think they use it in Scotland, though.
I don't think so. I've been to Scotland and I've never heard it before.
I feel like the list of places you haven't been is shorter than the list of places you have.
That is completely untrue. There's a lot of countries in the world, Bruce. I've never been to Africa. I've never been to Latin America, to South America. I've never been to Oceania. I've never been to anywhere in Asia outside of Southeast Asia. So
I just want to point out.
What are you waiting on, man?
I just want to point out that you just said there's a lot of countries in the world and then started listing continents.
Yeah, because I'm not going to list every single country on YouTube.
Well,
I'm saying if I tell you I've never been to Africa, you can know that there's 53 countries I've never been to.
Well, let's go to Uzbekistan sometime. That's fun to
I would like to go to Uzbekistan. I have a couple friends who grew up there.
Of course you do.
I was just using that because it was fun to say. I had no idea you actually knew people there. That's amazing.
No, I don't know them there. They live in Canada.
Oh.
They're from Uzbekistan.
Yeah.
Well, let's all take a trip to Uzbekistan together.
I don't want to go to Uzbekistan.
Well, I mean, duct tape you up and bring you with us anyway.
Oh my goodness.
Of all the countries surrounding Uzbekistan, it's probably the best one to go to in that part of the world.
And I think I just found what our true crime podcast is about. Kidnapping Kevin and taking him overseas.
Yeah. Kyle, you're off the hook if you ever listen to this.
Carnage aside, I really didn't give a prediction for who goes home. I think we're going to get they can't get anyone to touch the thing.
I don't think there's any way that we have 2 episodes in a row with no murder, though.
Yeah.
Production doesn't control the murders. They have a schedule. They stick to it.
Right, but I think that things would be edited differently if that was the case.
Who's going to want to go? I just don't think people are going to want to go near Lisa right now. I'm probably wrong, but I'm making a bold prediction. You fuss at me for not being bold sometimes.
I appreciate the bold prediction. I just don't think it's going to happen. That's fine.
Yeah. Also, just who goes up to people and touches their jewelry? That's weird.
Johnny Weir. That sounds like something he would do in a heartbeat.
He might be the only one that would.
That's fine. I picked him.
Yeah. Honestly, he's probably still running around in the marsh looking for skulls right at this point.
That's true.
No, he's probably gone to Turin because he's going to be live broadcasting for NBC during the Winter Olympics. Oh, sorry, not Turin, Milan.
Yeah, get it right.
Turin was 2006. I'm 20 years late for that one.
That's tough.
I was 6 years old.
I was 7.
I was 10.
Yep. Okay, so does anybody have anything else they want to talk about before we wrap this?
I like burritos.
No. We will be back next week with what, according to Alan, is the best episode of The Traitors.
Yes.
We hope that Alan is right. Sometimes hosts say things are amazing and they're wrong, so who knows?
Jeff Probst. Okay.
That's what I was thinking of when he talked about Worlds Apart being one of the best seasons of all time.
I was thinking about how he keeps, and I honestly don't dislike this season near as much as the rest of the fandom seems to, but he's very high on 48.
And he's very high on Joe and Eva being his favorite survivors of all time.
No, Boston Rob is getting.
If you
that
ask
title.
him right now, he'll tell you Joe and Eva.
Really?
He did it on air at an award show. Yeah. Anyway, check out our other Reality Realm content, Tribal Council Chat. They just recorded yesterday when we're recording. We're recording Saturday, they recorded Friday. So be checking that out.
If anyone wants some backstory but doesn't know Survivor, it's probably a perfect episode because this week is the Natalie Anderson and Yam Yam episode of Tribal Council Chat.
Yes.
I can't believe you talked about Yam Yam and didn't bring me on.
Well, we'll find another way to talk about Yam Yam later.
Anyway, Pit Stop Pals, we're cranking out episodes for our rewatch of season 16. That's going on right now. Our latest one, we did episode 3. Sometime in the somewhere between soon and distant future, Brett and TT will be back with New Generation Challenge podcast whenever 42 announces their cast for sure. I believe is what
that'll be exactly it.
And other than that, check us out on social media, buy our Redbubble merch, and Bruce.
Yes.
Do your thing.
Don't get murdered.
That was creepy, like the